What is good, guys? This is Charles from Team COG, and today, guys, we're coming at you with a point of view type of duel here. I thought I'd try this just to give it a try. I always like the point of view. However, this is like my last attempt. I got a new stand and everything to try this. I don't really want to do like a GoPro perspective, but I figured this would be like a last attempt, and if this didn't work out, I'd bite the bullet and go get a GoPro or something like that and start doing the point of view. I just didn't like the thought of having it on my hat and then forgetting it's there, or just something like that. But anyway. We're going first here versus Fire King Snake Eyes, and this is the Infernoble list I showed on stream. A few of the combos have been updated, and like, I shouldn't say like, because there's just so many different combo lines, like maybe like not updated, but like different combo strategies have been implemented and stuff like that, which hopefully you'll get to see here within the segment of videos I have, because I have a bunch of like point of view duels from locals. But we're going to see Flamebird get summoned, popular get sent off with the original Sinful Spoils to be able to summon out from the deck. Probably Aponix would be my guess. Yep, there it is, that chicken. So like, this is probably like my first time like in depth like really playing against Fire King like outside of like a testing environment. Like, this is actually at locals, but he's going to activate the Sanctuary. Sanctuary's going to grab the island, and that's something I was trying to think. I don't think Island has like a super rare or anything like that yet, which is insane. It's surprising that that card hasn't been a super rare or anything. It might correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if it does. But Grunix is going to get added. Summoning, destroying the Kieran to summon back the Ponix. Kieran is an insane card. It's kind of hard to believe that like the retrain of Kieran is so insane when the first edition of Kieran that came out was not that insane. But we're going to see a link of IP and Flamebird into the Princess. Flamebird is going to trigger to summon two, it's pretty much Soul Charge back, and then Princess is going to be able to bring something back. Princess is kind of like, Princess is cracked, man. Bringing back the Flamebird and stuff like that, like Princesses. But again, like, I don't know, like, people have been already crying for a ban list and stuff like that, and personally, I think the way to either hit the list is you go after something in the wanted side, or you hit Flamebird. Flamebird is pretty much block Dragon at home, and I think if you remove Flamebird, you remove a lot of like the crazy broken stuff that the deck gets access to. But Konami does some pretty crazy stuff. But as you guys will see my hand, I have like Durandal, Museum, Renaud, Forbidden Droplets, Tactics, and Angelgo's Angel Ring here. So Flamebird is going to move up that IP, and I don't think there's any way for me to truly beat this, because like he has Princess in Graveyard, which will still allow him to do some things. But right here, I should have probably, so like there's really no point in like chaining the IP, right? Chain to the IP, because as long as Flamebird goes to Graveyard, it's okay. So he's going to summon Make Little Knight, so I'm going to go ahead and go Forbidden Droplets, sending the Angelgo's Angel Ring that I happen to draw. And then I have Tactics in my hand, probably. So like, I don't know, hindsight's always 2020. Like, he's gonna get rid of Museum. Museum's like insane. I probably shouldn't have led with Museum, but I should have probably led with Durandal to force out the IP, and then I could have chained the droplets to that. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and, since he ends up banishing the Flamebird and banishing the IP, he ends up, the only target I can negate, not even target, the only option I have to reduce with droplets is the Flamebird. So I end up using Tactics to take. My idea here is I need to get, like, if I take this, I'm still online. I just got to avoid the Princess, because like I said, I only know what he has on field and stuff like that. So I end up going ahead and activating Durandal, and I believe he reveals, this is one thing, and do have a little bit of Kieran. Yep, so he reveals Kieran, destroying the Popular in his hand. Popular will be able to a bunch of put something in the spell and trap zone. Then of course Grunix is going to trigger, and a lot of things are going to happen. But do just have a little bit of patience with the angle. The angle is getting better, which was something I was working on. There I am, just reading Kieran, as you guys can see here. Kieran is kind of nutty. Like, it takes me a lot to, like, sometimes I kind of forget like how crazy like cards I have. In the sense of like Museum being like a field spell that's not once per turn that lets you search and move something forward. Like, it's just every deck has like a nutty card, right? Or almost every strategy. It just goes to show like not every deck is like made equally, and that's all right. It's just the way the game works, right? So it's just kind of interesting to me, like, to see like how Konami, like, where's that line that Konami draws on like, oh, how do we make something busted? Like, sometimes the line is blurred and sometimes there is no line. But anyway, that is going to wrap it up for game one. We're going to go into game number two here, and I think I tried to side in, you see Red Layer there. Red Layer is a phenomenal card. Like, Red Layer's actually put in quite some work with me. I'm testing out Red Layer and Flint Lady again, just because I was advised to play like, like Black Witch or Fenrir or any special summonable monster that lets you get Uppercutter live. because it makes like any card like plus Museum or Durandal like be able to, as long as you don't commit your normal summon, be like combo wise, like combo off. So like I dislike Fenrir tremendously. I'm not playing the Black Witch because I also don't like the Black Witch. The Black Witch, it's like, if I want to play the Black Witch, I might as well play, like, the best version of Snake Eyes, right? Like, if I'm going to go down the route and go down Flame Burge, Wanted, the Black Witch, I should play the best version and not just play it in Infernobles, in my opinion. And then at that point, when you're like, well, you're not really playing Infernobles, then well, technically you're doing less Infernoble stuff. And that's arguably what we're doing here now. But looking at my hand, we have Ash, Rhoda, Museum. And so this hand is rough. Like, this hand is one of those hands where if they have Droll, we just lose to it. And it's kind of like, 9 times out of 10, you always follow with Museum first. You let Museum resolve, because as soon as Museum resolves, but it's just one of those hands where, like, I have to get, if I'm even going to be able to play, like, even though I can't play, I should just go for Museum to go ahead and get it, but nothing on Resolution, which we love to hear. We go ahead and normal summon the Uppercutter. Uppercutter's going to grab us the Spar, and then we're kind of off to the races here. Technically, I have a combo sequence. Uppercutter plus Museum gets you to an Apo for 2, a Charles, like double Charles, I think. I'm trying to, like, it's just, the lines are just so in depth and so crazy. I love it, truly. I think it's this is why this deck's my favorite, just because, like, you don't know. So now Ibsold here. Ib, the World Chest here. Isolde number 2, or Isolde at home, since we can't have Isolde while we're out. We're going to grab World Child Succession, and then we're going to be able to, like, summon out the Beacon from the deck because we linked it off, use Succession, bring back the Beacon, make Power Tool Braver, which is going to equip up to 3 from Graveyard or deck, which is pretty crazy. And this is a good point here to point out is if we get nibbed here, which we can get nibbed, but we're going to go ahead and add Turpin, especially at Joyous to add back the Spar. If we get nibbed here at this point, the all of our equips trigger, which is, like, insane. But we're going to go ahead and make the Princess to Reborn out, the Uppercutter, Special Spar, overlay here for the Infernal Flame Banshee, I believe. Yeah, there we go. Infernal Flame Banshee, Detach and Turpin. Do go ahead and add Popular. And as we all know what Popular, it's a popular monster. We're going to be able to summon it out, add the OSS, which is the original Sinful Spoils, activate it, sending off the Princess, which I hate doing. And I actually, like, I cut out the Flame Burge, or not the Flame Burge, I cut out the Ambush Ship, and I think it might be going back in because I ended up getting, like, ashed and disrupted, like, a lot, and my hands were not, like, so, like, really, like, my hands were good enough, but not, like, great to combo. The part where they hit me stopped me from comboing off, but being able to, like, go into a Flame Burge well would give me, like, an extra form of disruption, whereas I would just, like, Princess was stuck up there in the extra monster zone because I didn't have anything to go into. So again, it's always up to, like, you know, different scenarios, different, like, stuff like that. But Roland's going to touch down. We're going to go ahead and activate Museum. Pay 12 to grab. I think we go for, we go for the Almas here. We go into Charles. We equipped Almas to Charles. Go up into Charlemagne. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. Equipped. Add back the Gearfried. Go into SP Little Knight. Move forward the Charles. Use Roland's effect to equip. Standard stuff, soldiers. So we go right into our second Charles, Gearfried. Arguably, I should have summoned Gearfried right away. If he was holding Nib this entire time, I would have been hard punished. But I kind of make a goof here. We catch it, and the next thing, I leave Gearfried down in the spell and trap zone, and I don't catch it. As you can see, like, in phase, Roland grabs Angel Ring, and then Charles will attach the Malgus. I've started going for Malgus a lot more instead of going for Oliver, just because, like, I'm not so scared of Imperm anymore. But anyway, we're sitting down here, and I'm even like situating Gearfried, and I haven't even noticed it yet. But conveniently, my buddy Kyle's like, "Hey, yo, how did Gearfried get down there?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, 1 second. Yeah, this is where I wanted Gearfried to be," and so he just corrected. So he's gonna fire off Bonfire here. We go ahead and use Charles, sending the Malgus, and then of course Malgus is gonna be able to shuffle back 3 cards as cost and get us a draw. I think the shuffling back for cost is what's truly insane. It's like, go ahead and Ash it, that's fine. We don't get the draw, but at least we get to put back resources, and we end up drawing. We draw Ash, so we have 2 Ash now, which is, yeah, sweet. Great. Where he's going to go ahead and summon the Witch, and the Witch is going by pitching the Wanted, which is interesting. We're going to go ahead and chain SP to that to go ahead and force him to have a normal summon. I've also found myself, like, using SP kind of early just because, like, for the most cases, like, they can just battle over it. If I use SP as soon as possible, like, we get out of there. He's going to normal summon Birch, I think. I think that's which one that is. We're going to Ash the OSS. He's going to go Tactics, and we're just going to let it get hit by the Angel Ring. He's going to scoop it up there because we have like 9,000, more than enough on field to wrap it up here. So we're going to that all-important Game 3. And Game 3, I know I got to side in some heavy stuff here. I know Droll is a good option. I put in Evenlies and Crows. I think I don't know if I keep Evenlies in. And I go for Evenly just because, like, as you could see, like the board before, like especially if I can force a few things and then like go into the battle phase and then evenly, it'd be pretty nice. And I see, I'm looking at myself siding out droplets, which is something I don't think I should be doing. Which, I mean, like, I guess I can do that, but like it's against my own like mentality of what stuff. So like these are the normal 6 cards I normally sign out. I normally sign out like Tactics, Call by, Roland, Angel Ring, and 1 Ogier. It's like the 6 cards that always come out is like those when I know I'm going segment. Signing out droplets. I guess in my thought process was Evenly is serving in the same thing as like Evenly is going to be able to. He don't really put up a lot of monster effect negation, so like dropletsing a board of monsters ain't that impressive. Evenly just does the job, I guess. Maybe that was my thought process, but we're gonna get ready. We're gonna go second here, and it looks like I have Droll and DD Crow and Uppercutter. We actually have like a pretty solid hand. He's going to activate the Witch, pitching the Wanted again, Witch effect, to allow him to set the original Sinful Spoils, or at least it should set that. Yep, set the OSS. He's going to activate OSS, sending here. This is nice to have Ash here, that's for sure. But Droll will do. I think Droll's good enough. Droll will get the job done here. However, I was getting sacked by Called by quite a bit, so it wouldn't surprise me. So he summons out Snake Eyes Ash, adds level 1 fire. On resolution, I hit him with a Droll. A fat Droll. Hopefully this is good enough to stop him, because you love to see him add the Ponix and then smack a Droll with him, because that means like the Ponix is dead in their hand. He's going to normal summon the Ponix, link into a Link Karibo, and then maybe go up into SP Little Knight. No, send it off to summon, I think, Flameburge? Yeah, summon out Flameburge, which I thought was interesting. And then Flameburge is going to move the Ponix there. And right here, I should DD Crow the Ponix. So there is no debate here. For some reason, I didn't think that Flameburge special summoned the monster. That's down there. I thought it just moved it forward for some reason, which I don't know why I thought differently. So like that kind of stinks. I draw Ogier for turn, which is not a good draw. And it's like literally add 1 of, so it's like probably... so I start out with the normal summon of Ogier, which I don't know if it was correct or not. But I feel like Ogier, it was either Ogier or Uppercutter. And Ogier would have got me to Gearfeed, and Gearfeed's phenomenal going second. So I'm going to go ahead and fire off Heritage of the Chalice. He hits the Ogier with Imperm. Chalice should get me... I feel like I should go for Renaud. Like, I really don't have any... Like, just go for Renaud, get to Angelica, and, you know, get her engine, start getting live here. And I guess hindsight's always 20/20. Like, I could have gone here... Like, I could have normally Uppercutter. It probably would have ate an Imperm. Heritage of Chalice for Ricciardetto, and then use Banish Ricciardo to summon out the Ogier to dump. And then that would have sent, and that would have probably, actually, that might have been good enough. I don't know what's in his hand, but I know it's about ready to happen, and that would have put me on a lot better. Well, no, because I'd had to, I don't know, because that would have put me on a different type of, so you Super Polys, this is what comes around as Super Poly. And Super Poly is kind of nutty. And this is why I believe you should be playing Angel Ring, guys, because Super Poly is being main deck and kept in. But Super Poly pitches the Nib. And this is, so like, this is pretty smart. He pitches a Nib with pretty, you know, a lot of, so that means, you know, pretty much he knows that, like, he knows 2 cards in my hand. Or one, yeah, no, he just knows 1 card in my hand. And so he's really banking on these last 3 cards not being good. Unless he had an extra Nib in his hand. But these other cards are going to come. I'm going to DD Crow and Ash to go ahead and get rid of it. Probably, again, like, if I would have DD Crow the Ponix early on, I think that it would have saved a lot of things. Given that the Flameburge was still the Super Poly target, there's nothing I really could have done there to stop the Flameburge. But we're just going to pass it over because I don't have any way to extend past this. But if I would have gone the other route, I think I would have been able to extend a little bit further. Especially considering that I would have still been able to... I equipped it Almus, and that's what triggered the fuse off. So, like, I'd still have an additional body with the Super Poly, so then I could still potentially combo through this. So it's just a misplay on my part, but he's just going to go do his things. Grunix is going to do some things. Ponix is going to touch down. It's just kind of it is what it is. Like I said, he did have Nib in hand, so like if he would have waited too, like he would have been able to potentially hit me with Nib. However, like if he didn't Super Poly me, Gearfree was touching down, and Gearfree was going to be able to negate Nib. So it's literally he had to have something like Super Poly to stop the hand that I had, it feels like. So, I mean, and when they got it, they got it. You cannot complain. It is YuGiOh at the end of the day. So right now, we're just going to let them just do out their turn, grabbing the, put back the OSS to search level 1. That's what's kind of crazy about that card. That card, like, is a 1-for-1, but on crack. Normal summon Ash. But I also kind of believe a lot of the level 1s that it summons aren't, like, I mean, like, yeah, there's some crazy ones, but I think Flameburge, in my opinion, like I said, it was earlier in the video, Flameburge is insane, and that Flameburge needs to go. But he's going to do some battle shenanigans. He's going to go whack, 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 and then he has Kieran in hand, I believe. No, he has the Fire, Circle the Fire King. And he can just summon back any fire, which I didn't realize. I thought it didn't matter because he could summon back, I think he had Kieran in grave as well. So, like, it didn't matter what he could summon back. He just needed to summon back something with more than 600 attack. But anyway, we ended up losing this one, guys. Huge shout out to my man. So thank you guys for watching.